Today's guest is someone really special. Nikki Rausch has actually been one of my own mentors, and she agreed to tap with me here, which I'm still a bit giddy about. So Nikki is a sales strategist, a coach, and an NLP Master who works with women business owners on their sales conversations. Honestly, this episode turns into a bit of a mini masterclass. We talk about subconscious blocks and fears that she sees coming up for her own clients around sales and what she actually does to help them move through it. A little different from tapping, so I think you might find that interesting too. And then she walks us through the 4 NLP Mandala statements. These are the ones she uses to get herself into the right mindset before a really important conversation. You're going to want to write these down, okay? All right, fair warning. Then we get to tap, and Nikki picks an issue that was a bit baffling for her, actually. Is she worried about money and financial security, even though she's always made really good money? We track it back to a belief that it hit her hard. My money can be taken away. And she actually feels nauseated when she says it. By the end, though, after we've traced it to where it came from and then we've tapped through it, she tells me, I just feel silly. And that shift from nauseated to silly, that's exactly why I do what I do. I'm Nancy Lynn Ruth. This is EFT Breakthroughs. Let's tap. Welcome back to EFT Breakthroughs. I've got a very special guest today, one of my very own mentors, Nikki Rausch, and she is amazing. So Nikki, welcome to the show. Why don't you introduce yourself so people can know just what you do and who you are?
Thank you so much. I'm so honored to be here, and thank you for that really beautiful way that you described me. I am a sales strategist and coach. My business is Sales Maven. I primarily work with women business owners, and I teach the structure of a successful sales conversation. So I have a signature framework that I teach, and really the idea is taking the nerves, the icky, all the things that you hear people say about sales and showing people how it can be very conversational and quite easy, not just for you as the seller, but for the buyer as well. So that's what I do.
Oh, and you've only scratched the surface. You've written books. You are a great speaker. I've heard you speak. I've worked with you. You're pretty amazing, and you're an NLP master. So there's all of that.
Thank you.
And I'm wondering, you know what I do. I work with women business owners to uncover what's going on under the surface, those subconscious rules and beliefs and fears that get in their way. Mm-hmm. And I have to think, when you're working with people on sales, that you see some of that coming up too.
Oh, yeah.
Well, what have you noticed? What comes up for you?
Often it really kind of comes back, I think, to judgment. Like this idea of like, I don't want to be judged. People are judging me. And because there's this judgment attached, they often hold themselves back from inviting people to work with them, even broaching a conversation with somebody who they see as a potential client for them. It's this idea of like, oh, people are going to think this about me or that about me. And that often gets in the way and also sends the wrong message to the other person because they're trying to make sense of why you're acting differently or why you're not inviting them or whatever. So oftentimes I think it comes down to judgment. And then the other thing I would say about it is most of us have been on the receiving end of sales being done to us, not very well. And I always say that sales actually isn't something you're supposed to do to another person. It's something that you do with another person. And so when you think about doing something to someone, that feels manipulative and kind of gross. And that often gets in people's way of like, I don't want to have to do something to somebody. But as soon as you realize that actually that isn't an effective way to sell, then it takes some of that scary, judgment out of it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I've worked with you, and I know that simply getting those messages like, no, don't push. It's we're working with, and all of that helps to calm me down. And I've seen it work with other women too. But I've also worked with women who it doesn't matter what they're thinking and what they know, they still stumble, they still get stuck. I mean, I had one woman who was a fantastic speaker, still is. She'd get on the stage and she was wonderful. But when it came time to make the offer from the stage, she choked up. And we worked on that, and then she was able to go through it. But until we worked on it, it didn't matter that she knew she was a good speaker. She knew that people wanted to work with her, and this was what she was there to do. It still tripped her up. And I wonder if you've seen anything like that, and what you do when you come across that with clients.
Yeah, it's interesting that you bring this up because I just had a situation earlier this week where a lot of times, based on my background in NLP, I'll dig a little deeper when I start to see that what's getting in the way here is there's some mindset issue that's really kind of causing this block. And so a lot of times I'll start asking questions, which frankly is kind of my answer to everything in life. When you're not sure what to say or what to do, ask a question. And so I'll start asking my client questions. And one of the things that I often find, and I wonder, this may or may not be the same in your work, but a lot of times these stories that they're telling themselves, or this idea that they have about how they're showing up in the room and what people are thinking about them, it often is something that you can track back to an earlier time in their life, some instance that happened, some conversation, some little side comment that somebody said that they make into a bigger thing. And so a lot of times when I see that there's a mindset thing, we start digging and figuring out, like, what was that about, and who said that, and was that even true? And sometimes when you start to look at a story, you think, oh, when I think back at that as an adult, and I think about how that actually happened, I'm thinking about it with my child brain, right? Like the person was, coming at me hard, but really they were actually thinking about my best interest, right? So it starts to kind of shift some of these things.
Okay. So unburying the cause, the source of it is enough quite often to just say, okay, this was from when I was 7. I'm not 7 anymore. I'm good. I can do it differently.
Well, I mean, there still might be some work to do there, but I think sometimes that first recognition, one of the ones that comes up, and this is from my work in NLP, is oftentimes when somebody is telling themselves a story about, something as to why they aren't comfortable selling, or why they hold themselves back from selling or whatever. A lot of times, if I'll start to ask questions, they'll talk about this voice that they hear, like this voice of somebody saying something to them, and this very NLP. And I'll ask, whose voice is that?
Oh yeah.
Because sometimes it is their voice, but often it's not their voice. And when it's not their voice, one of the things that, and again, I learned this in NLP, is that it's kind of like if you borrowed a book from a friend with the idea that you're going to read the book, but it's not your book. You're supposed to return it. And I go through kind of a scenario with them around this. And once they start to realize of like, oh my gosh, I borrowed something from somebody, in this case, something that was said that I have now attached myself to. And I realize, like, this isn't even my book. I need to give it back. It's like, this is their story. This is their thing. And I've just been carrying it around, acting like it was mine. But it's kind of like when we borrow a book and we put our friend's book on our own shelf. And then when we clean out our bookcase and we're like, oh no, I forgot to give back the book. Like, that's not even mine. I don't own that. That's somebody else's, right? So learning how to give something back that really was never yours.
I love that. And I've done that too. Asked, well, who does that sound like?
Yeah.
And then that opens up possibilities for releasing with the tapping, which is how I do it. And it's interesting. I've learned all along that, little pieces of NLP have found their way into the EFT tapping world. So I know that I'm doing some of those. I don't really know. I've never studied it. So it's interesting to have you say that one, because I didn't realize that one was an NLP move. So thank you for that.
Well, with anything you can say psychology, sociology, NLP, even tapping, these things, like sometimes these are like branches, right, that come off the main kind of tree. But there's a lot of overlap, especially with psychology. And the NLP training that I've had. There's a lot of overlap.
Oh, yeah. And I came from the therapy world.
Yeah.
And a lot of, it's not that I'm doing therapy with clients, but I just bring in some of those tools and techniques
Right.
and ways of being that I learned there. So so I can see that correlation, but the connections between all of those. You're so right about that.
Yeah.
Well, one more question.
Okay.
One of the reasons that I follow you, that I feel you're one of my mentors, and I send people to you, is that you talk about mindset a lot. I mean, it's not the focus all the time, but it comes in regularly for you. You recognize it as important, and so maybe if you're up for it, are you willing to share what you do for your own mindset before you say walk onto the stage or work with a client or put out an offer?
Yeah. I'll tell you the one that I tend to go back to over and over again. And I learned this again, this comes from my background in NLP. We learned something called the NLP Mandala. And you might have heard me talk about this before because I teach it.
Beautiful.
The NLP Mandala is these 4 statements. And originally, the story comes from when JFK was elected president, that there was a conversation between JFK and his press secretary at the time, that how the conversation went, that there was some nerves for the president to be in such a public stage and to have questions coming from reporters that he might not know the answer to. And so the press secretary gave him this process that then became the NLP Mandala. And the idea behind it is to really prepare yourself to go into these meetings, or to be in a situation where something might come at you that you're not necessarily prepared for, but it's this idea of like really like preparing your mindset. So I still do the NLP Mandala. I started doing it, I can't even tell you how many years ago now. The very first time I did it, I was sitting outside of a client office. It took me 2 years to book this appointment because they kept saying no to us as a company to come in and try to earn their business. So it was a very high stakes meeting. And I remember sitting in my car in San Francisco with boiling down heat and going through this NLP Mandala and going through it again and again and again. Took about 10 minutes before I could actually feel the feelings in my body of these 4 statements. You know, you can say something and it'd be a throwaway line, but there's also sometimes where you can say something and you can feel it in your body. Like, what does it feel like? So it took me about 10 minutes to get into this place of like, I got it. I got the mandala. I'm feeling it. I go into my meeting. There was, I don't even know how many people in the room, probably 15. I give the presentation. And at the end, one of the guys in the room came up and he said word for word back to me one of the statements of the NLP Mandala. And I never actually said those words out loud, but I was like, oh, this works. Like he felt it from me in my presentation. And so since then, the NLP Mandala has always been my go-to. I do it before I do a podcast. I do it before I have a client session. Sometimes I do it before I have lunch with my mom. Like it's just it's like, it gets me in the right mindset of like being the best version of myself I can be for that meeting. So mindset is important. That was a long story.
Okay. Did I miss the statements?
I didn't tell you because I wasn't sure if you wanted me to share them, but I'm happy to share them.
Please.
Okay. So the first statement, and again, it isn't just a throwaway line. You have to know, what does it feel like in your body? So sometimes you have to imagine, like, what would it feel like if when I say this is true to my body? So the first one is, I'm glad I'm here. That's it. I'm glad I'm here. Like, what does it feel like when you are really glad to be somewhere? How does that feel in your body? The second one is, I'm glad you're here. Think about the person you're going to be in conversation with. And sometimes it might not be your favorite person. So you might need to picture, what does it feel like when your favorite person is in the room with you, right? Like, I'm glad you're here. The third one is your power statement. And this is the one that I find a lot of comfort in, is I know what I know. So the idea is, I definitely don't know everything. There's a lot I don't know. And there's a lot of times where I might get a question that I have no idea how to answer. But the one thing I can stand in my authority and my credibility is, I do know what I know. And so when we're talking about sales, when we're talking about business, when we're talking about relationships, I can speak from a place of authority on that. So I can stand in my credibility. I know what I know. Okay. And then the last one, and this is the one that sometimes trips people up, is I care about you. Think about when you do really care about the people that you're in conversation with, you treat them differently, you show up differently, you're more open to, feedback, you're more like like the conversation flows better. Now, sometimes when I teach this, people go, I don't know about these statements, Nikki. And I go, well, hey, this is a process and you could change the statement, right? I feel like you might help people with it in your work. Like if they're, and I heard you do this on the podcast where you'll give them a statement and you'll ask like, where does that rate, right? Like what's the number? And then you'll change the wording just a little bit and they'll go, oh, the number goes up or the number goes down, right?
Yep.
And so same with the mandala, if there's some part of it that you like the concept of having these 4 statements and feeling in your body before you go into a meeting or before you start a call or whatever. And if there's one of them that doesn't resonate or 2 or all 4, you could change any of them. I know one time I taught a client this and she said, Nikki, I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't care about everybody I come into contact with. And I was like, great. So come up with something that it has like resonates with you at a deeper level. And she ended up deciding the 4th statement for her was, I learned something new in every situation. Great.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, that's beautiful. I have to pause now and go make some statements, but I'll be right. That was masterclass right there. I think maybe we'll end up having 2 podcasts here because I still want to tap with you, but that was so brilliant. So thank you for all your wisdom. That's great.
Thank you.
Let me change my hat and let's do some tapping if you're up for it.
I am up for it. I'm so excited to tap with you.
Okay. Well, and I know we did one before I was going to be on your podcast. I offered you to do a little tapping with you so you'd know what it was like when you were interviewing me. So I know we did that, and you haven't done a lot of tapping, right?
I have not done a lot of tapping. I've done a few like little versions of tapping.
Okay. Well, and maybe this will be different for you, or maybe it'll just flow right like you're expecting it to. But I do have my way of doing it. So let's dive in there.
Okay.
So what are we working on today?
Well, one of the things I was thinking about is I really want to work on my relationship with money and financial security. So I'm somebody who I've been working since I was 14 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't lived at home since I was 16, and I have always had enough. I've been able to pay my bills. I've made really good money in my career, made good money in my business, and yet I constantly worry about financial security. So you tell me, is this a topic for us?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. So I'm hearing at least 2 things going on here.
Okay.
One could be that working hard, it's an identity. It's who you are. And
100%.
Sometimes what happens is when somebody has that kind of like, who am I if I'm not working hard? I work hard. I'm a hard worker. Mm-hmm. Their subconscious will cause them to not allow in enough money for them to be able to step back and relax or even retire ultimately, right? So it keeps them on the treadmill. And the other thing I hear is simply, I'm supposed to be worrying about money. It's not something I can count on, or I'm not supposed to relax around money. So with those 2 big areas, does one feel more like you than the other?
I'm going to say they both do, but probably this idea of I can't relax around, like at any moment it's like at any moment the rug could be ripped out from underneath, right?
Ah.
And so I better be prepared.
Okay. Getting a couple possibilities here.
Okay.
And you know how I do it. So I'll have you say it. I'll say it out loud. You repeat it back out loud and then give it a 0 to 100% rating for how powerful it is.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just say, I have to worry about money.
I have to worry about money. Feels like maybe a 65.
So there's something there. But let's see if we can get a bigger one.
Okay.
I'm supposed to worry about money.
I'm supposed to worry about money. That actually feels less true.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's skip that one. My money can just get taken away.
That gives me a right in the stomach. That hits me right in the gut. My money can be just taken away. That feels like a 90.
Okay. I think we got it.
Okay.
But you said it a little differently. And I want to capture your word.
Okay.
I think you just said it. My money can be taken away.
My money can be taken away.
Yeah. And that
actually makes me feel nauseous.
Oh, okay. I think we better change that one. Okay. All right. If you've had some water, let's do some tapping.
Okay.
So even though a huge part of me is afraid, my money can be taken away.
My money can be taken away.
I know that part of me is just trying to protect me. So I deeply and completely accept that part of me. So even though a part of me is warning me, my money can be taken away. I can talk to that part. See what that part really needs. So even though I'm afraid, my money can just be taken away. I am safe with this belief. And I will also be safe when I have released it. Okay. My money can just be taken away. I learned that when
I was, 7 years old.
Okay. Because the thing that happened when I was 7 was?
The thing that happened when I was 7 is my mom left with nothing.
Oh, that's a big one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, Nikki, hang on. Okay. I don't want to go anywhere you're not prepared to go.
Mm-hmm.
But clearly this has been around a long time.
Yes.
And 2 things happened there. You said your mother left without anything. And then she just walked out the door and didn't take anything with her. Is that what you mean by that?
She wasn't really allowed to take anything with her.
Okay. And you saw that happen.
Mm-hmm.
And the learning was, well, whatever I have, it can just be gone.
Yeah. Yeah. And I saw it happen again and again with her in relationships where she just walked away with nothing.
Okay. Now, of course, if I were working with her, we'd be working on where does this come from? So that it should not have happened to her, and other people were involved. But she also got herself into situations where that became
so true. Yes.
And so she had some internal rules that kept leading her into those situations.
Yes.
As a kid watching from the outside, it just looked like my mother, who I love, whatever else, other feelings you had, when we're kids, we're hardwired to love our parent.
Mm-hmm.
She loses everything. She just has to leave it all behind.
Yep.
And she was female, you were female. There's that connection there.
Mm-hmm.
It might have seemed like, well, that's going to be my life. And yet you being you said, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to have something that no one can take away. And I can see this from the outside looking in. You created this career and these abilities where you can go and make money in an instant, basically. This may be partly why you became so good at sales, is so that there's that driver there.
Yes.
Yet underneath it all is still this, well, yeah, but my money can be taken away at any time. So even with all these skills, the fear is still driving you and saying, I got to worry. Oh no, what's going to happen? Okay. So let's go back to your 7-year-old self. Are you comfortable calling her up and talking to her? You're going to stay who you are, all grown up, all wise with all of your knowledge and wisdom. And you're going to talk to your 7-year-old self.
Okay.
And we're going to be really kind to her because she's doing the best she can with a really tough situation. Okay?
Yeah.
So, all right, she's standing in front of you. And first of all, I want you to introduce yourself. Say, hi, I am you from the future, and I'm here to help you.
So, hi, I'm Nikki from the future, and I'm here to help you.
First of all, I want you to know you're going to be okay.
First of all, I want you to know you're going to be okay.
Hard things happen.
Hard things happen.
But you're going to get through them.
But you're going to get through them.
And you know it's true because here I am.
And you know it's true because here I am.
Okay. And I know it seems like everything can be just taken away in an instant.
And I know it seems like things can just be taken away in an instant.
Like what you just saw with Mom.
Like what you just saw with your mom.
But what I want you to know about that is...
But what I want you to know about that is...
Now, I can give you something to say, but if you got something you want to tell her, you go ahead.
Okay. So what I want you to know about that is you're not your mom. You're you. And you can make different choices. And you can be in control of what you earn, what you save, what you spend.
Yeah. And can anyone take that away from you?
No, not really.
No. Not the way she just saw with her mom.
No, not this. Yeah. No. You make different choices. And you would never just walk away and let somebody else take from you.
Mm-hmm. And you're going to make choices that put you in a position of power for that.
And you are going to make choices that put you in a position of power so that you can make different choices, so that you don't have to worry about this.
Okay. How's she looking? Is she like, yay, let's go? Or is she like, who are you, lady?
I think she's a little like skeptical, but at the same time, maybe this idea of seeing something different brings hope.
Well, why don't you give her a highlights reel? Take her by the hand and show her all those times. Well, maybe not all, but those times where you made these choices and have built up that power, and so that she doesn't have to worry.
Okay. So do I articulate this or do it just in the privacy of my own mind?
It's up to you. If you feel comfortable just thinking it, go ahead. If you want to say some things about it to really hammer them home, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you put yourself through college and you paid your way through it. You bought your first house on your own and actually have bought multiple houses on your own. You have a career that you control your financial kind of well-being because you have the skill set of sales. Yeah.
Okay, then let's be real clear here. Can your father take away that money?
No.
Can your husband?
No.
So you are in charge of your own money.
I am in charge of my own money.
And that's what your 7-year-old self can see.
Yes.
Okay, how's she looking now?
Better.
Okay. Ask her if there's anything else she needs now to know that her money's not going to get taken away. She's going to be okay.
Okay. So is there anything else you need to know that you're going to be okay and that your money is not going to be taken away? Yeah, I don't think so. I think she's on board.
Great. Okay. So if you want to, you can give her a, I don't know, what do we use these days? A little thumbnail, well, anyway, a recording of that highlights reel for her to watch anytime she needs. And if she wants to hang around with us, she can. If she wants to go play, it's up to her.
Okay.
What's she want to do?
Go play.
Bye-bye. Okay.
Yeah.
Off she goes. All right. Take a deep breath in and out again. All right. Let's see where we are with this one. Say out loud,
Okay.
my money can just be taken away.
My money can just be taken away.
0 to 100%. How powerful did it feel?
Yeah. I'm going to say it's more in like the 35 to 40.
Well, that's better than 90. Did you
Yeah.
feel nauseous that time?
No.
Did you feel it anywhere in your body?
Maybe in my throat, whereas before it felt like it was in my gut.
Uh-huh. And you were going to
Yeah.
say something.
I don't know.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Well, 30. Let's keep going if you've got the time, because I don't want to leave it at 35, because you can get past that one. That one isn't going to hurt as much, but we can bring it down even more, and then it's really left in your rearview mirror. So even a little part of me is holding on to this rule.
So even if a little part of me is holding on to this rule,
my money can just be taken away.
That my money can just be taken away.
I know that part of me is just trying to keep me safe.
I know that part of me is just trying to keep me safe.
So I'll talk to that part.
See
what's still there. So even though a little part of me still wants me to believe my money can just be taken away.
So even though a little part of me still wants to believe my money can be taken away,
I accept that part of me. And I'm also open to that part of me changing the rule. So even though I'm holding on a little bit to that rule. My money can just be taken away. I'm okay with that rule. I'm also going to be just fine without it. Okay. My money can just be taken away. The thing my throat wants to say about that is.
I think my throat just wants to say, this is an old story.
Oh.
And that you don't need to keep an old story.
My throat is so smart.
My throat is so smart.
I should listen to my throat.
And
I know this is an old story that I can let go of because.
And I know this is an old story that I can just let go of.
Because
it just is not true. It's just not true. It's been proven again and again and again. I'm fine. I'm doing well.
Yeah. And I have set myself up to be able to show myself over and over again.
And I have set myself up to be able to show myself over and over again.
I'm fine.
I
don't need this rule. So what if it's safe to let go of this rule? That my money can just be taken away. What if I'm allowed to finally let go of the rule? That my money can just be taken away. What if it's time to let go of that rule? That my money can just be taken away. Okay, Nikki, does it serve you in any way now to have that?
No, it doesn't serve me in any way.
Okay. Sometimes it does, and you want to hold onto some of it. But there's nothing about it that's really helping you out now.
Right.
Okay. Now, it did in the past. Let's honor that. At least I see it as having been one of the drivers that said you set yourself up to be in this position of power.
Absolutely. It was a driver. Yes. Yep. And I'm grateful that I was able to accomplish what I did.
Great. And you don't need that anymore because you've learned all the lessons of how to keep yourself safe and powerful. And
yes.
Are you going to forget those when you stop believing that your money can just be taken away?
No, I'm not.
No. Okay. So I hereby release all of that rule. That my money can just be taken away. Because the truth I know is.
I am in control and I can always earn more.
That's beautiful. Okay. I think we can stop. What do you think? Deep breath in and out.
Okay. Yeah, it kind of feels silly now. Like it feels like a silly thing. Whereas before, like I said, it did make me actually feel nauseous.
Oh, yeah. And there was a good reason for that. I mean, it was a bit of trauma that
Hmm.
was still in your mind. And the thing about trauma is that it like, unlike a regular memory, which will sort of change over time, a trauma memory it's like encapsulated. And
Mm.
it can get triggered with something like me having you say, my money can just be taken away. And it's like, it's right there where it was before.
Yep.
Until we release it in a different way. Because time will heal many wounds, but a trauma, it's not going to change until you bring in something like tapping to
Hmm.
allow it to catch up to where you are right now, which is what we just did.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Oh, my pleasure. How are you feeling?
I feel good. I feel lighter. I feel good.
You know what I didn't have you do? I didn't have you measure it. So say out loud, my money can just be taken away.
My money can just be taken away.
Anything left?
Not really. Like it just feels, it feels silly. It feels like it's just not true.
It isn't. It never was. Well, it hasn't been for a very good long time.
That's true.
And now all of you is in alignment with that.
Yeah.
Yay!
Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you so much for being on EFT Breakthroughs, Nikki. I can't
You're
wait
such a
to
star.
hear what you notice that changes out in the real world after this.
Same. Okay.
Okay. If you've been listening and thinking, I want that kind of shift for myself, you don't have to figure it out on your own. Set up a call with me at unblockresults.com/contact. We'll chat about what's going on with you and your business and what's getting in the way of your goals. And we'll see if there's a fit with what I do. Let's talk.